Good day, fellow masters. Welcome back. Your host Lord Valdrox here, back with some more absolute demonic front Babylonia 7 Singularity. So now we go to part 4 of section 14. Or is this section 13? Sorry. Distracted, indeed. Yeah, we're going into chapter 14. So for this one, we're looking on ahead. I want the challenge, so I'm gonna side with Ishtar again. Again, it doesn't look like the other enemy boss is somewhat difficult because you have to bring, what is it, a gallant goddess? I mean, no, you have to face the gallant goddess. She's an archer. But since I'm going to stick my Ishtar all the way, my enemy is saber, so now I can bring an archer. So I could do the same thing again. It's just that I have to be careful. Sorry, I let my voice go right there, and then I went too cheery. It doesn't look like everyone has. I guess it has to be an archer, and there's only one archer that fits this archetype. And that should do it. Archer. Go. That was laughable. The ruler of the mountainous land of Arat is no match for Uruk. Try and come at me again.
Huh? Gilgamesh is in a really good mood. I never thought I'd see him smile like that.
What's Arata?
I believe he's referring to the Lord of Arata, the rival of Emerker, the first king of Uruk. King Emerker came 2 generations before King Gilgamesh, who was also tricked by Inanna. Ishtar cajoled him into attacking the land of Arata for its abundant ore. Oh, is that what happened? Sorry, but I don't remember any of it. And shrunken again. Father would be so sad if he saw me like this.
Hey, Lord Valdrox, Dr. Roman. Do you have something to remember this moment, like that clicking thing?
You should weep for me.
What the hell are you doing, fool? That was some force. If Mash hadn't covered me, I would have fallen into the abyss. That was like a huge cat that came at him with all the force of a freight train. That pushed you over. Is there something lower than the underworld? Ah, the abyss, yes. In Mesopotamia, there are the heavens and the earth. The underworld underneath the earth, and beneath that, the abyss. The abyss is a sea of nothingness. The gods Zu and Tiamat came from that dark sea and created Mesopotamia. You could call it the primordial sea that existed before life itself. Now that Enki, the god who managed the abyss, has disappeared, there would be no return if you fell into it.
That's where King Gilgamesh sought the mystic herb of immortality, right? Now that you mention it, I heard that Enkidu also had some dealings here in the underworld, didn't they? If I remember correctly, King Gilgamesh ordered Enkidu to go to the underworld. Then Enkidu told them all about it when they returned.
That smile says the king is trying to ignore something he doesn't want to remember.
You're pretty knowledgeable, Mash, but the truth is actually much worse than that. Goldie over there was really into his new invention, a musical instrument, and had a party for 3 days and 3 nights. Ereshkigal was fed up with all the noise, so she opened up the gate to the underworld just a little. The king was pretty drunk, so he accidentally dropped his instrument into the hole. He was furious. You should have seen the tantrum he threw. Enkidu couldn't just watch the king rage, so they went down to the underworld alone. And so Enkidu went and took a look at the underworld, showed their gratitude to Ereshkigal, and returned to the surface.
Ah, This all happened because you kept asking for help. Something like, there's a snake in the hulupu tree. Help me, wah. If I hadn't cut down the tree, I would have never made the instrument.
Hold on a second. Showed gratitude to Ereshkigal? So Enkidu had some relationship with Ereshkigal?
Yes. Enkidu hated Ashtar, was respectful to Ereshkigal. Ereshkigal was the one who took Enkidu's remains. We couldn't leave the remains of a weapon of the gods on the surface. The thought was that they could rest in peace if they were entombed in the underworld, but I knew there was a time before Yolot appeared, so I visited Enkidu's grave. However, the remains had disappeared.
So the young man that called himself Kingu is really Enkidu. I rebaited Enkidu, is that it? But Enkidu's soul was destroyed by the gods. I can understand if it was a servant, but Enkidu couldn't have been revived as a living being in this era.
It's just as you say, Ishtar. That Enkidu isn't Enkidu. Even though Enkidu was buried, there were things that still resided in the body. That is not what we see. Buried? With something left in the body? Is that possible? But if that's the case, he calls himself Kingu, right? Then just think of him as that. Anyway, we can see the fourth gate now. Let's have fun with the next question we get. Answer me, answer me. There is no reward in fate. Prayers are merely offerings. People do not hope for blessing from the gods. They simply offer their prayers and labors. They are slaves for life. In which case, answer the fastidious goddess that has the right to accept such precious labor would be... Fastidi... I can't really get a read, but I guess it's Ishtar. Despair, you are blind. I don't care, I'll stand by Ishtar all the way. That's why I prepared something for that last boss right there in this round. Again, masters, don't pressure yourselves to go through all these battles. I call them more difficult than I say they are by comparison in terms of the enemies you have to face. Because they do have more HP. That's it though, more HP. Well then, and the stagnation of that king has 50k more HP than the other choice. That in the next battle again. Wow.
よし、あれを使うか。無駄だ。罠だ。どうした？何かしてみせよ。
How dare you, ghost? You're going down next. Damn it, I messed up.
行くぞ。さて、あれがあったな。計略だ。
Got to use the ghost. That ghost is definitely gonna pay. With its life.
よし、あれを使うか。どうした？何かしてみせよ。
My. Like I said, the enemies just have more HP. And then you want to take all of that, and they're different types, of course.
Sate, あれがあったな。ま、どれでもよいか。どうした？何かしてみせよ。罠だ。 魔術のみと自らを縛るのも王の度量よ。
バリバリ呪うぞ。
On the off chance it doesn't.
量産ですもの。節約節約。
我が声を聞け。
神様っぽいところ
全訪問
見せちゃう。
開場。矢を構えよ。俺が許す。至高の財をもってウルクの守りを見せるがいい。
いつもにかっこれ時代にしてみさずな。ついてあまたな
Charging phone. So this is the enemy that was gonna. Oh, Aladdin Hill. Who should I bring about for this battle? Do I still need Casco?
バリバリ呪うぞ。
つまり途中だな。他にやることなこういうのどうだ。
May as well still use it for
途
the
中だな。他にや
battle.
る
The
こと
enemy
ない
slow
の。
down the battle just a little.
我が声を聞け。全本開場。よし、あれを使うか。
Really loves his voice.
矢を構えよ。俺が許す。至高の財をもってウルクの守りを見せるがいい。撃て撃て撃て撃て。
Pitiful enemy.
魔術のみと自らを縛るのも王の度量よ。
I think it's a perfect time to swap around. Granted, there's no means to increase your skills just yet.
ホールドアップ。
So the only thing I can hope for is
すべて
ちょっとスコープをところ見せちゃおうかな。
これぞ大軍師の究極陣地。
that's right, get stunned, eat stun. The next battle will be a little bit more difficult. I say that because you either have the choice of facing a Ranger or an Avenger. Again, the thing with Ishtar has Ruler, 190 versus the Avenger has 60 page, which seems very difficult.
無駄打ちはしません。量産ですもの。節約節約。ええ、
よ
いたますよ、マスター。スイミング。華麗、あまりにも華麗。ごましなく知れ、エクスタイマー。
罠だ。
たまには
And just like
こ
that,
う
the
いう
enemies
催し
go.
もいいものですね。
And of course, again, it won't be that hard to defeat the little enemies, but that Avenger enemy, if you do side with the Ereshkigal option, doesn't exactly make things easy for anyone. So bear that in mind when you make your choice for the Fallen One. That is, if you haven't gotten ahead, of course, which I'm sure plenty of you have, and I'm just mouthing off because, well, why not? But some of us are still behind, right? Kyle, do you have that? Yes, you do, sir. What's yours, sir? Now for this battle, like I said, you either get to... If you choose the Ishtar one, you have to face a ruler. If you choose the Ereshkigal one... So, take your pick. Of course, like I said, since I'm going with this option, my obvious choice in order to take her down will have to be Joan of Arc Altar. But again, in order to facilitate that choice, okay, so I see two situations right here. First off, if you're facing her, you're facing a powerful, choosing Ishtar, you're facing a powerful caster, so you need a rider. Single target rider for that. Which means it's gonna have to be like this. Bonsi may or may not allow me to do it. Okay, we did it. And I suppose I could leave it as such. Actually, since we're facing off a ruler, yeah, we'll just leave it like that. Alright then, fellow masters, tackling next quest. Let's go. Sorry, but I think that's enough. When did this turn into whose goddess is it anyways? This is serious.
Doctor, is there a problem with that? As Ishtar said, they're all very important questions. This is really teaching me a lot.
What did you say? No, Mosh is becoming a bad girl. Ishtar's lifestyle is a bad influence on her.
What's that supposed to mean? Ereshkigal is the one asking weird questions. It's not my fault.
I'm not sure about that. Ereshkigal's problems are your problems. If the roles were reversed, I think you would have prepared the same questions.
That's not true. I would have been much more clever and circumspect about asking stuff like this. So you wouldn't really ask anything different. That's Ishtar for you.
Damn it, Mosh.
The gate shocked me again. I think I'm getting used to this, which is kind of scary.
Fantastic. It was funny to start, but now it's becoming a problem. We can't keep losing strength, even if it's Ishtar's. If things keep going like this, fighting Ereshkigal will be difficult. Just what level of divinity is Ereshkigal? Is she the same rank as you, Ishtar? No, she's not quite on Ishtar's level. She's an old goddess like Ishtar, but in terms of raw power, she's not as impressive. Ishtar was the daughter of the heavens, so she got everything she wanted. The gods spoiled her and tended to her every beck and call. Also, Ishtar got Enki, the god of the abyss, drunk and robbed him blind. That was pretty bad. It was the greatest heist in the history of the gods. It was also pretty funny, even to the other gods. Enki got completely smashed and gave all of his divinity to Ishtar. When he woke up, he had nothing left. Ishtar had already loaded all his wealth onto Mana and was on her way back to the surface. Enki went into a panic and had his slaves chase after her, but the boat of heaven was far too fast. Enki was in tears. He wrung his hands and screamed, warning that a stupid bratty girl was going to run the heavens and the earth and beg for help. The gods and humans that were watching screamed out. Take a look at that driving technique. Who would have thought the boat of heaven could be used to drift racing? No one can catch up to that. Surely her driving mastery will go down in legend as the drunken and the divine underworld drift. No one in Uruk could ever be faster. I hate to admit it, but even I thought so too. Ishtar had been hiding her true colors up until then.
But whatever do you mean? The boat of heaven's automatic transmission was broken that day, so I just switched to manual gear. And I always carried nitro in my boats, just in case I needed it. Always.
What do you think, Lord Balgrox? This is the patron deity of Uruk. Now do you understand how I feel? Ishtar is such a free spirit. In the end, the boat of heaven had engine trouble and stalled just before the harbor in Uruk. Tragedy was averted in the nick of time. As you can see, this is the story of Ishtar, a goddess who coveted everything she saw. On the other hand, Ereshkigal did not desire anything. When the underworld was created, she was sent to become its ruler and foundation. Someone had to maintain the underworld, and Ereshkigal was unlucky enough to have the responsibility thrust onto her. Ereshkigal had only just been born when she was cast into the underworld and became the mistress of the depths of the earth. She managed the spirits of the dead for tens of thousands of years without being able to spend a moment on the surface or in the heavens.
That's so sad. I wouldn't have thought to feel bad for her before, but I do now. It's not just that she couldn't leave. The worst part is that she couldn't see new worlds or meet new people.
In exchange, Ereshkigal became invincible in the underworld. Even the gods cannot go against her laws in the underworld. Just ask that tiny girl over there. But outside the underworld, her special privilege disappears. She's about mid-level in terms of divinity, I'd say. Also, if she's up against someone who's alive, then she has to kill them first, or the laws of the underworld won't go into effect. So the only ones that aren't affected by Ereshkigal's laws are Lord Valdrox and Nash. I see, so that's why you were waiting for Lord Valdrox. Someone who's alive and can put up a fight, basically. My only concern was that Lord Valdrox might get killed by the Galu spirits the moment he entered the underworld. But it seems that Ishtar prevented that. She dropped to the underworld with you and protected you when you were most vulnerable. You get a bit less dumb. Maybe your negative qualities like debauchery and stinginess canceled each other out and made a positive.
Who are you calling debauch? As if. You don't know me, Goldie, so stop talking. And I'm not stingy. I'm financially responsible. I have a reason for collecting jewels. Don't believe everything Goldie says, Lord Valdrox.
Answer me. Existence is the practice of curtailment. Living is the practice of cultivation. It is the duty of the wise to eat finely, to scheme and to find happiness. However, listen, unlimited intake of nourishment invites success, Flab. If you were to live your life, that would be fat meat and Ishtar.
You're being judgmental, Lord Valdrox. Not all Chinese restaurants are bad for you. You can just exercise after you eat a lot of fats. The same with meat. You can achieve balance that way. Forget excess flab on your waist. You can prevent it in your heart.
Fat. Oh, dang. That thing did not, what would be the word, held back.
決まってんじゃないか、ボーイ。チキンレースだ、
こういうのどうだ？こういうのどうだ？じゃあこういうのどうだ？
It seems I fell short a little. It's fine.
バリバリ呪うぞ。
Well then, gotta teach you the jump.
罠だ。計略だ。
はやっ。
Come on, someone hit Kentucky! It's not like it would have made a difference anyways.
クール。
さてさて。
スマッシュ。
Wow, aren't you the biggest bully? And I know Kentucky's gonna kill it, so we hit him with his quick cards for the...
Yeah!